Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Brevet.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Baseball potpourri. Brutus. Catching some Z's. Note the quotation marks. Intravenous. Presidential alma maters. And Guinness World Records. Player one, you start us off. Venus's surface is hard to view from Earth because it's completely covered by these. Let's hear it, player one. Right you are. Player one, pick again. One of these on Venus lasts about 244 Earth ones. Okay, player one. Sorry. The correct response is a day. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Like Mercury, Venus has this many moons. Yes, player one. Right, and you're back into some money. Player one, back to you. We're not sure if it was ancient or not, but the first U.S. flyby of Venus was by one of these space probes in 1962. Here's what we wanted. Mariner. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Answer, the Daily Double. You are in the lead right now. Player one, give us a wager. And the Daily Double clue. Galileo's finding that Venus goes through these, like the moon, was the first direct evidence for Copernican ideas. Correct. Player one, you pick again, please. U.S. Military Academy, class of 1915. It's player one.
Yeah!
Correct. Select again. U.S. Naval Academy, class of 1946. The correct response is Jimmy Carter. You get to pick again, player one. Georgetown, class of 1968. The correct response is Bill Clinton. Player one, choose again. Harvard University, class of 1904. It's player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player one. Eureka College, class of 1932. Here's what we wanted. Ronald Reagan. You again, player one. Each defender guards a section of the playing area in this system of sports defense. Here's what we were looking for. Zone. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This Italian squash can be eaten raw, steamed or grilled, or baked in a sweet bread. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Player one, back to you. Two-word term for the weightlessness experienced by astronauts in orbit. Player one? Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
You get to pick again, player one, and I'll hand it off to Kelly.
It's the point on the celestial sphere vertically above a given position.
It's player one. Correct. Please pick again, player one. The LOZI people moved to higher ground during the annual flooding of this African river. We're talking about the Zambezi. Player one, pick again. You're the 4-pound 1 ounce this of my eye. if you're the record this picked by a farmer in 2005. Here's the correct response. The apple. Player 1, back to you for our next selection.
David Finkel was out of his gourd when he carved a face in one of these in 20.1 seconds.
Okay, Player 1. That is correct. Please pick again, Player 1. Guinness has recognized Lucky Diamond Rich as the person with the most these. Even his eyelids are covered. Here's the correct response. Tattoos. Player 1, you pick again, please.
I'm looking over a 56-leaf this type of plant found in 2009 that I overlooked before.
The correct response is clover. Please pick again, Player 1. In 57 minutes, 51 seconds, a New York man took the 1,899 steps in the fastest pogo stick jumping up this Toronto landmark. Here's what we were looking for. The CN Tower. Select again. He penned the immortal line, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves." Let's hear it, Player 1. Yep. Player 1, pick again. In this 13th century work, Brutus is described as suffering in the lowest pit of hell. Here's the correct response. Inferno. Please pick again, Player 1. This Greek biographer of parallel lives suggested Brutus was Julius Caesar's illegitimate son. Here's what we were looking for. Plutarch. Please pick again, Player 1. Brutus joined a conspiracy to assassinate Julius Caesar that was led by this man. Player 1?
Yeah!
Right. Player 1, back to you. During the Roman Civil War, Brutus sided with this man, but was later pardoned by Julius Caesar. Oops. Here's the correct response. Pompey. Player 1, you pick again, please. The MVP of the World Series receives an award named for this Yankee slugger. Player 1? You got it.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1, pick again. It's the vegetable term for a lazy fly ball that's easy to catch. We're talking about a can of corn. You get to pick again, Player 1. Here's Kelly to start us off.
A good place to hit the ball is here. The traditional alliterative term for the center of percussion on a baseball bat.
Here's the correct response. The sweet spot. Please pick again, Player 1. In 1962, this Dodger shortstop stole 104 bases, breaking Ty Cobb's 47-year-old record. The correct response is Maury Wills. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. Inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame in July of 2007, he won 8 National League batting titles during his 20-year career. The correct response is Tony Gwynn. The Double Jeopardy round will begin right after this. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are convert from the Roman numeral,
Country's highest points.
title ballet women,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Amelia Earhart, and Moon R's. All right, if you're ready, it's Double Jeopardy time. Mercury's period of this is about 59 Earth days. Let's hear it, Player 1. Sorry. Here's the response we were looking for. Rotation. Player 1, pick again. Photos from Voyager 2 helped spot this moon of Uranus that's named for the heroine of as you like it. Let's hear it, player one. You are correct. You get to pick again, player one. Saturn's second largest moon. It's named for the mother of the gods. Here's what we wanted. Rhea. Player one. Pick again. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. And you have the lead. You need to select your wager. And the daily double clue. They're the bright streaks of lunar ejecta flung from an impact crater. Right. Select again. From the German for rivulet, these trenches on the moon's surface probably carried lava. Let's hear it, player one. No, sorry. Here's what we wanted. Rills. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The notation on a letter or email to note other recipients has this numerical equivalent. We're talking about 200. You get to pick again, player one. The Minnesota company with brands like Post-it, Scotch, and Filtrete gets this big value. Here's the response we were looking for. 3,000. You get to pick again, player one. The postal abbreviation of the state whose capital is Annapolis equals this quantity. Here's the correct response. 1,500. Please pick again, player one. The Norwegian angel Miss Ullmann, numerically. Here's what we were looking for. 54. You again, player one. The last name of silent movie cowboy star Tom has this value. Here's what we wanted. 1,009. Player one, back to you. 1949 saw the first ballet version of this operatic Bizet work that features Don Jose and a toreador. Here's what we wanted. Carmen. You again, player one. The evil priest Frollo wants Esmeralda, but she's saved by a man named this. Here's the correct response. Quasimodo. Player one, you pick again, please. Margot Fontaine dazzled audiences as Princess Aurora in this ballet. Here's the correct response. Sleeping Beauty. Select again. This Kenneth Macmillan ballet intrigues with the curious story of the last of the four daughters of Tsar Nicholas II. Here's the correct response. Anastasia. You get to pick again, player one. This Greek gal falls for her stepson Hippolytus in a ballet based on Racine's tragedy. The correct response is Phaedra. We return to you, player one. Amelia's first plane was bright yellow and named for this songbird. Let's hear it, player one. Good for you. Player one, you pick again, please. In June of 1928, Amelia became the first woman to fly across this body of water, though she was only a passenger. It's player one. That's correct. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In 1935, Amelia flew solo in about 18 hours from Wheeler Field in this state to Oakland, California. Here's the correct response. Hawaii. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Answer. The other daily double. And you're in the lead now. Please enter your wager. Answer this. On her last flight, Amelia Earhart took off from this large island. Good. Player one, back to you. Amelia was promised her independence when she married a member of this prominent publishing family. We're talking about Putnam. Player 1, back to you.
Mount Kosciuszko in New South Wales.
Player 1? The correct response is
Australia.
Player 1, you pick again, please.
Pico de Teide in the Canary Islands.
Here's the correct response.
Spain.
Please pick again, Player 1.
In East Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro.
It's Player 1. No, sorry. Here's the correct response.
Tanzania.
Player 1, pick again.
Phnom Aural.
Here's what we wanted.
Cambodia.
Player 1, choose again.
In Central America, Doyle's Delight, not Victoria Peak as was thought.
Here's the correct response.
Belize.
Player 1, back to you.
In the late 80s, Sam was the rehearsal stand-in for this comedy legend on his self-titled sitcom.
Here's the response we were looking for.
Bill Cosby.
Select again.
Sam proclaimed, "And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee," in this 1994 film.
The correct response is
Pulp Fiction.
We return to you, Player 1.
Sam made brief appearances as this character in Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America.
We're talking about
Nick Fury.
select again.
As Elijah Price, Sam was the frail antithesis to Bruce Willis in this 2000 flick.
Here's the correct response.
Unbreakable.
And the last clue for $2,000.
Lucius Best was the secret identity of this ultra-cool Incredibles character, voiced by Sam.
Okay, Player 1. The correct response is
Frozone.
I'll see you for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Time to get ready for Final Jeopardy. And today the category is this.
Show business.
So, what's your wager? Now it's time for the Final Jeopardy clue, and here it is.
The wings on this, created in 1948, represent the muse of art. The atom represents the electron of science.
And your response? And that will lose you. Here's the correct response.
Emmy Award.
Congratulations, Player 1. You're the winner. Thanks for playing, everybody. See you next time.